here we are, Bradley and Tom Show, one of the final episodes.
Am I on? Can I see this?
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
But no, really, I kind of talked to Bradley and I said, I want to take a moment to talk to you guys, to kind of share this journey and this relationship. So when I first heard Bradley's story of, I've written 27 plus books and I can teach you how to write one too, I thought, oh my gosh, this is just another self-help guru passing his stuff off. And it's not, oh man, and then I'm not going to learn anything and I'm going to spend money and it's going to be like, And so I took him up on that. I actually had the opportunity to be on a podcast that he was on, and I asked him, hey, you're saying you can do this. I'd like to see you try. I've got a book idea. Can you really do it? And so he's laughing over there. He took up that challenge.
He sure did.
And he really can. And it's not one of those things that, okay, you pay $90 and you feel mildly good about yourself for the next 2 weeks. This is, you pay however many, and it's less than 90, isn't it? It's what, 50 something?
47.
It's like $47. And if you have a friend who's in there, you can get it for an affiliate code, which is even cheaper. But beside that, it's like 47 to 30 something dollars.
Coupon code is Tom, T-O-M.
Yeah, coincidentally, you can use that for 25% off. But back to the story, Bradley. Come on.
Stay focused.
This is one of those things that not only is it cheaper than those other ones as we just talked about, it's a repeatable skill. He will teach you the stuff with his videos.
Yeah.
And I can say this because the journey was so good, we decided to use the videos that he was doing over the shoulder with me as you guys' class videos. You'll see that this goes from idea, not just his theory, an actual student idea to completion. We ask those questions that you might have during it. And again, it's a repeatable skill. Once you get that skill, I'm already getting ready to work on my next book. I spent 3 months with Bradley, got my first book done. I just posted it on Amazon 2 days ago. This is one of those things that's worth the money, and he really does have the skills needed to get you there, and we walk through that together for you guys. I highly encourage you to click whatever link is surrounding this video, and if you're at all interested, I know the fears. I had them too. I took him up on those, and he delivers.
Wow, Tom. So thanks so much. It's been a pleasure working with you the past 3 months. And so here, just to point out a couple of differences with what you and I did and what we're now offering is you and I had basically one-on-one consulting coaching, an hour a week for 3 months. Just to be clear, I am not offering that. No. That was a special one-time thing.
But we did it for them so that
we did.
We can ask those questions.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to make sure that they knew is this is a really good over the shoulder. It's not just you teaching theory.
Right.
It's you walking them through a practical example of that theory.
Yes. And then so what I have done is what Tom and I did together will be part of a course called WRITE, W-R-I-T-E. And then there's publish and then there's market. So you write the book, publish the book, market the book. So what Tom and I did will become the core of the curriculum for the WRITE course. What we're offering now, what we're doing now is the biggest struggle I have seen as an author, and believe me, so many authors come to me like, Bradley, I have a book idea, or I want to write a book. And I hear it all the time. And the biggest struggle that I usually see is perfectionism or procrastination. Or all of these limiting beliefs that I can't do it. Who am I to write a book? And then what happens, especially with the perfectionism one, is that...
Yeah, can I speak to that real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So that was one of the big ones for me as well when I'm coming into this, writing a book, especially surrounding, oh man, do I have to have a chapter this long? I can't get it this long. I have my idea. I think it's a good idea, but I don't have enough words. And to be enlightened to the fact that it doesn't matter how long your chapter is, as long as it is one idea. You get that one idea. It can be 3 pages or 30, ideally closer to 3. The shorter is a little bit easier for your reader.
Yeah.
But once I found out that, I don't have to worry about chapter length. I just worry about completion of idea.
Yeah.
It was like a fire. I was able to knock out chapters in 2 hours a piece. It's just amazing to realize, okay, no pressure here. Just get the one idea.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that that Bradley teaches.
Yeah. And so in this challenge, in this special challenge, it's a 7-day challenge. So again,
Oh, are we talking about the challenge now?
yeah, let's talk about that now. So because just to be clear, Tom and I, we did the 3-month thing, and I'm going to put that into a, polished professional course on writing a nonfiction book. That's all fantastic. But I even make fun of it saying it, right? I'm like, oh, Paul, blah, because it's so serious, because people do take it seriously. And that has been the key, the difference that I see with the 7-day challenge. The 7-day challenge, the joke is that it's called Write Your Worst Book Ever. And see, here's where Tom differs from most of the population of the planet, is that Tom was gung-ho and ready, had an idea, and he was willing to do it, like execute, like write the book. And we did it. And we powered through, and there were times where it was slower and tougher and difficult, and he powered through.
I cried once.
Yeah.
I think I cried once.
And did it, right? However, what happens usually, and because we had a weekly call all the time for an hour, you knew you had to get your homework done. I'm going to be on you, and we got to move to the next stage. So the difference is that you really wanted to make a great book, like the best book in you at this period in your life, right? Next year you write a book, it'll be even better. Great. Fantastic. But we needed to get this one done. So the 7-day challenge is about writing your worst book ever, because the burden, the heaviness, the weight of the perfectionism that most people have. I suffered for 10 years from it because I needed to write the greatest book of all time. And the challenge is that that's such a big mountain in front of you that what usually happens is you just don't do it. You hide, you detour, you go around the mountain, you find any way possible to not do it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can relate to that too. That's when I first had the idea for the book was, maybe half a year before I met Bradley. And I started it. I worked for an afternoon on it, and I'm like, I can't do this. I need to have all this information. I need to do all this stuff on it. And I got paralyzed.
Yeah.
But then again, one of the big things that Bradley will teach you, I hope I'm not giving too many spoilers, is how to get out of that mindset. I guess there we go. So I don't tell them how, but this is how to get out of that mindset, and you just get the thing done.
Yeah.
I didn't have ideas for multiple books. I just was like, hey, I got this thing that I want to share with people. How do I get it done? He helps teach you how to get out of that perfectionism or whatever the particular mind trap you might be in, then gives you the skills to write the book. And then you might just find yourself wanting to write another. It's crazy how like you said, liberating it feels once you know you can write a book. You're like, I can do this. That means I can do it again.
Okay, see, that for me is key, because I keep joking about this worst book ever and everything, but it's a bit of a mindset trick almost, because what we're doing is we're actually going to write a book in a week. I'm not joking around about that, right? We're going to have a title, we're going to have a cover, we're going to have chapters, and it's going to be terrible. But that's the point, because the key element is that we are going to finish a book so that you could say, I finished a book. Because then what I know is going to happen is that your second book is going to be easier than your first. And if you want to take that first book and it's the biggest piece of trash in the world, which that's what we're shooting for, remember, then you can toss it out the window. But what that book has done is that it has opened up the floodgates. It has broken down the dam. And now you're flowing. Now you're in flow state. And now you can jump into that second book. And if that second book is your greatest book ever, fine. Awesome. Go for it. But it's going to be easier because that mountain has diminished, right? The mountain has become a molehill. You're like, I've already written a book. I can handle this, right? This one's going to be a little better, serious, whatever. Fine. But you've done it already once. Second time's going to be easier. We're going to do it in 7 days. We don't have the burden of perfectionism because remember, the goal is to write a bad book. The goal is to write a silly opposite book, right? Something that's going to be.
I'm taking up in the challenge.
Great. Fun, light. And we're going to, by the way, a couple elements here. I talk about tri-tai-to, trigger, time, together. Trigger is the fact that we're doing this workshop at all. So I am your trigger. I'm going to trigger you into writing your book. Time, we have a deadline and we have a limited time, right? It is this time is from March 1st to March 8th, 2021. We'll be doing it again. But for this round, it's March 1st, March 8th. So oh, that's when I have to do it. Just like Tom and I, we had 3 months. Boom, he had a deadline in February. We hit that deadline. So we are going to hit the deadline of March 8th. And then together, this is critical. Tom and I were together the past 3 months. In the challenge, there's a group of us who are all in the same boat. And we are all going to be working on our books for those 7 or 8 days. And we're all going to get it done. And that, for me, is critical energy mass that's going to make it all happen. Because if the course for how to write your worst book ever, and it's a do-it-yourself thing for a week, and say, here you go, here's all the instructions, have fun with that, good luck. You say, oh, all right, well, I guess I'll, watch the videos or whatever. But nope, we've got a community. We're in there. The challenge hasn't even started yet, and we're already in the community yapping back and forth about bad book ideas and laughing about it. So we've got a community, we've got a deadline, we've got the trigger. Trigger is right now the fact that we're doing this thing. So Tom, thank you so much for working with me this past 3 months. And you are helping build the future courses, which is, in more detail about really how to get the work done. But we're going to also do it in 7 days, and we're going to write a terrible book. See, I can't even say it without laughing.
I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Awesome, Tom. Hey, thanks again so much for being here. And thanks for your help with everything right related. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in Worst Book Ever as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what your worst book is.
Oh, I'm ready for it.
All right. Thanks, Tom.